Hi, my name's Jordan Shipman, and I'm a filmmaker. And I'm here to tell you about one of my favorite things that I get to do as a filmmaker, and that is I get to make videos about rock climbing competitions. And one of the difficulties that I've faced making these comp videos is simply just finding an audience, because most people, including most climbers, they just don't give a shit about rock climbing competitions. They don't care. And it drives me crazy because I love comps and I want everybody to love comps the way that I do. So over the past few years, I've been on a mission to find a way to get people to give a shit about these comps. But how do I do that? Well, my first instinct is to focus on the sports action, because isn't that why people watch sports in the first place? For these amazing displays of athleticism. Well, I think that's certainly a big part of it, but I think climbing comps actually face a lot of challenges in the sports action department. For example, one half of a comp is exhilarating to watch as an athlete flies through the air and then latches on a tiny hold with just their fingertips. But the other half of it is very subtle. In fact, it's all about tiny differences in hand and foot placements. I'm talking millimeters. And those millimeters can mean the difference between success or failure. And that subtlety can be very boring to watch. It just sucks. Nobody wants to watch slab climbing. That's just the way it is. So if climbing comps are going to reach a larger audience, sports action is only going to go so far. At most, it's only half the battle. So what's the other half? Well, over the years, I've covered about 30 competitions, and I've gotten to know a lot of the athletes. Some of them are my best friends. And I've noticed that whenever they're on the wall, whenever they're competing, and I'm not alone in this, we all know what this is like. We always cheer so much louder and harder when it's somebody that we know. And why is that? Well, quite simply, it's just because they're our friends, we're proud, we know who they are, but most importantly, it's because we know their story. So I think that's the key to getting people to care about climbing competitions, is telling stories about people. Think about how many books, movies, TV shows this world consumes on a daily basis. Stories are very important to us. And it's because, in essence, stories are all about solving problems. Just like life is all about solving problems. Stories can contain hidden truth that can help guide us to our full potential. And our appetite for story is just a reflection of our need to understand the chaos in our lives. So I want to tell you a story about my friend Josh. So Josh started climbing and competing at a young age, but he gave it up later on in life when things started to get serious with a girl. There was just too much pressure to quit climbing, get a real job, and then get married. So he did. He got married, but unfortunately, things went downhill really quickly, and within a year, he got a divorce. So not long after that, he ran into an old climbing buddy that convinced him to go climbing again after 4 years of no climbing at all. And despite being at an all-time low point in his life, it only took one session for Josh to remember how much he loved climbing. So before long, he got a new job at a climbing gym, and he started training again, 20 hours a week. He wanted to compete. So the first comp he shows up at, it's just qualifiers. And then at the next comp, he makes the semifinal round. And at the next one, he makes the final round. Now, you're not going to find Josh in any of the magazines, but at this comp, he was competing against the guys that are in the magazines, guys so strong that you expect them to win. But Josh, he climbs on pure, unadulterated emotion. He gives it everything he has. I will never forget watching him at this comp, and I was enthralled watching him compete because I knew who he was and I knew his story. And then boulder after boulder, I watched him match feats of strength with some of the best of the best. And then in the end, out of nowhere, he won. It was his day. And then he unleashes, this primal scream of victory when he reaches the final hold. And it was in that moment that I realized that climbing competitions aren't about the competition at all. They're about the people and their stories. The hidden truth concealed within a competition is that it can be anyone's day, just like it was Josh's day. And his story is a reminder that no matter what happens to us in life, every day is an opportunity for us to climb to the top. A competition is just a spectacle that lures us into the story experience. And I think stories like that are the key for climbing competitions to find a larger audience. Thank you.